Hey guys, welcome back to another video. 2020 has been quite the year. I know I took a little hiatus there. I think everybody just needed a little mental health break at some point in the year, so I took mine, but I am back and super stoked for today's video. We are going to be testing out the complete RawBeautyKristi Colourpop collection, and without further ado, I think let's just jump right into it. The color story is absolutely stunning. We've got a lot of really great kind of neutral colors, and yet we can do something a little soft glam with our pinks and purples. So absolutely stunning colors to work with. I do have the complete collection, so I also have these Super Shock shadows. I will swatch all of them for you and show you a picture of the swatches because it's just way too much to try to do on camera, but lots of kind of bronzy, golds, greens, just absolutely gorgeous Super Shocks. Included in the collection are 3 of their cream gel liners. I've actually never used these before, so I am particularly excited to give these a try. We've got 3 different colors, this beautiful kind of foresty green color, this stunning yellow gold, and then just your everyday brown, which I think is gonna be a wonderful addition to the palette to kind of add a little extra pop on the waterline. A lot of people have said that these are very smooth formula and long lasting. So I am really looking forward to giving these a go and seeing how well they work. I have allergies, so my eyes tend to water more often than not, probably. So I'm really interested to see if they hold up to that kind of irritation. Even just applying eyeliner, sometimes my eyes will water. So I'm really looking forward to testing those out and seeing how well they hold up to that. So let's take a look. A lot of people are doing these beautiful green looks with this palette, which I certainly can't blame them. But I'm kind of digging this purpley pink look we have going on over there. I think we can get something really beautiful going. I do want to incorporate one of these Super Shock shadows into the look today. So I think that I'm going to use mycelium, just kind of this really gorgeous goldy. All of these seem to have kind of a duochrome feel to them. I mean, like a moss is super green, but then in other lights, it's almost like a goldy brown. I mean, super fascinating colors in this collection. So I think that we should go ahead and dive right in. So I am gonna start with this pinky color, Old Growth. I'm gonna use that as my transition shade. Okay, so with our transition shade on, it blended beautifully. It actually comes on, at least in my skin tone, a little bit peachy. So that pink has kind of gone away a little bit, but it's still just an absolutely stellar color. So I think I'm gonna follow that up with a little bit of the Amantia on the lid. I think that it is just a gorgeous purple. And I'm gonna butcher all of these words, so have no fear. Okay, it's a little smokier than I was intending it to be, but it does blend in beautifully with that Old Growth, that pinky color. I am going to do a little bit more blending here in the corner, I think, just to bring it up, and it is going to look a little different once we get the Super Shock on there and get it all blended in. So it is looking a little sketchy right now, but I do have high hopes for it. What I'm going to do next is pop this really dark color, the Let It Rain, into my corner just to smoke out that corner quite a bit. I do think that it's kind of a blackish color with some purple like shimmer in it. So far in terms of a formula, there's a little bit of fallout in the pan, so you can see where it's kind of broken apart a little bit and left. Well, maybe you can't, but there's some little makeup's broken up a little bit with my brush dipping in. I'm not seeing too much on the face. The fallout does not seem to be going from the brush onto my face. I did do my base first, so my foundation and all of that, so you guys could kind of focus more on the palette today. So far so good. I'm not seeing anything on the under eye. In the pan, smidgy bit of fallout, nothing crazy. So if that bothers you, I still don't think it's bad enough to stop you from wanting to buy it. But for me personally, it's not a problem. So just so everybody knows. I am gonna take that brush that we started the old growth in my transition area. I'm gonna use what's left on the brush to kind of blend into that color. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so next up, again, we're gonna stick that Let It Rain, that real dark color, into the corner just to smoke it out. Okay, so my final step with these three colors before I introduce a super shock is to take a clean blending brush, and I'm just gonna kind of go over some of those harsher edges and try to soften it a little bit. Okay, so that's where we are right now before we introduce the super shock. I do really love how these are blending together, particularly Amanita and Let It Rain. Those are just stunning. And then our transition color, I mean, transitions are always stunning. So let's go ahead and grab my Stellum. And we're gonna go ahead and introduce that into the corner of the eye and kind of blend it backward. So the super shock's always applied better with your finger than a brush, but I am going to take a little bit of what I can pick up with a brush and kind of use it to help blend that color backwards, so that it kind of fades into the color a little bit. It doesn't really pick up a whole lot on the brush, so I might have to supplement, but I'm basically wanting to go with a really nice shiny corner, fade into that beautiful deep purple, and then smoke out at the end. That's my goal here, so we'll see what'll happen. Okay, I am really loving how this turned out. I don't know how well you can really see it, but it does in person have a little bit of a softer glow than I think the lights are really picking up, which is totally fine. So what I'm going to do is finish the other eye off camera, and then we will do our under eyes and liner and call it a day. So hang tight. I'm just gonna finish this up real quick and I will be right back. Okay, you guys, we are back and both eyes are done. I'm just gonna kind of give you a glimpse here. Same color story on both sides. I didn't really do anything different. So I think moving forward, we're gonna go ahead and do our waterline. I have the three options with our cream gel liners from Colourpop and the RawBeautyKristixColourPop collection. This may seem kind of weird, but I'm kind of got my eyeball on that yellow color. Marigold. I kind of like the idea of putting that on my waterline and giving it kind of a brighter under eye, which is not something I always go for. I definitely like a smokier under eye. So let's give it a go. That went on super smoothly. I also do like the way that it's complementing the purple. Okay, couple of things. Super smooth application. The color, obviously, the color payout's incredible on the waterline. Some gel liners can be a little bit hard to work with. That was very soft formula. Obviously, I can't comment on how long it's going to last, or whether or not it's going to hang out throughout the day. But I can say that I was not expecting it to be quite so bright. I don't know, I was expecting maybe something a little duller, but I do like the way that it complements the purple. I think we made a good choice for our waterline. So moving forward, I think what I'll do is maybe get a wing on here, put on some mascara, and then we'll do lips. I have two Luxe glosses. I've never tried the Luxe formula before, so I'm really excited to give those a try. And then final thoughts. So I'm gonna go ahead and get myself a winged liner on. Today I will be using the Betty Boop Ipsy Drawn to You eyeliner for my wings. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera real quick, and then probably my mascara too, because who wants to watch somebody do their eyelashes? Maybe you do. Today's not that day. So we're gonna go ahead and do both those things off camera. We'll come back and do lips, and then we will talk about the whole collection. So I will be back. All right, guys, we are back. We've got our liner on, our lashes are looking fabulous. For those that are wondering, I did use the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. It's my tried and true favorite so far. But if you guys have a mascara that's your tried and true favorite, I would love to hear about it. So sound off in the comments below. I would love to try out different formulas, especially anything that is a little more on the affordable side. I do tend to go more commonly with the Lash Paradise by, I believe, L'Oreal. It's the dupe for this, just because this is a little bit out of budget for a full-size dupe. I just cannot excuse paying like $25 for a single tube of mascara. So when Ulta has their deals, it's like buy one, get one or whatever, I usually jump on those because that's the time that I can justify kind of stocking up. $12 for mascara versus $24. That's a pretty big difference. So I'm gonna kind of come in a little closer, let you guys see what the eye looks like completed, and then we'll do lips real quick and then chat about the collection. So I'm gonna come on in and you guys can see got that nice shimmer in the inner corner, smoky outer corner, that beautiful purple. For my bottom, I forgot to mention that. For my bottom lid, all I did was just take that beautiful purple color, the Amanita, and smoked that out a little bit. And then in the inner corners of the bottom, I took the Super Shock Mycelium. And it's what we used on the top to blend out, and I just kind of blended that into the bottom corner to kind of brighten up that inner area. So those are the eyes. That's what we're working with today. So let's go ahead and grab lips. So the collection came with 2 Luxe lip glosses. Again, I'm super stoked to try out this formula. The clear, more sheer color, I guess, however you want to describe it, is called Glacier. It looks like just kind of a clear gloss with some shimmer in it. So that's more, I mean, everyday use kind of thing. I love the big applicator. And then the other color that came in is called Wildflower. So the other one that came in the collection is called Wildflower. It is this pinky one, which I do think is going to kind of go with our look a little bit more today than the just kind of clear shimmer, I guess. It's my personal opinion. So let's go ahead and give that a go. Okay. Not heavily pigmented either way, which is good. Sometimes just want a little more of a natural look with some nice shine. So I think I will still get some good use out of these, even though there's really not a whole lot of pigment to work with. I think it adds kind of a nice subtle color to the lips, and then some nice hydration. My lips have been pretty dry. Winter weather is not friendly to skin. So I think these are pretty awesome. They are kind of sticky, not horrible. They are a little bit of a, I would say, a more thick texture. Some glosses are thinner and more on the oily side. These do not feel oily. They definitely are more tacky, which some people don't really care for. I don't really care either way. I'm just glad to have something hydrating on my lips. So I will certainly get a lot of use out of these, but they are thick and they are a bit tacky. So if you're not really into that, then I don't really recommend this formula for you. Obviously, I can't judge it compared to the other Luxe glosses that they sell, but I assume the formula is the same, and it's just the colors that are different for the collection. So I guess moving on to final thoughts. Everything blended just beautifully. The palette itself is so user-friendly. I feel like you can get a lot of looks out of it. I always go smoky. So if you're relying on me to get a nice everyday look for you, you can ask my coworkers, it's always smoky. But this does have more, you know, you can do lighter looks, something a little more work-friendly. But it's just beautiful with these purples. The color story is really stunning as well. I love that you've got this, I mean, almost every line can be its own color story, you know, it's just gorgeous. So that everything blended really nicely too. I mean, you can see that the colors, there's not a whole lot of patchiness to them. They really blended nicely. On top of it, the primer that I used was just like a Catrice matte primer, nothing fancy, something I just picked up at the drugstore because I needed a primer. So it, you know, I assume something a little bit on the higher end, it would blend even more beautifully. Certainly didn't have any problems applying the eyeshadow. The Super Shocks, as always, are gorgeous. Super Shocks, I have quite a few of them at this point, and I just fall in love with them every time I use them. Definitely need to be applied with a finger. You're not going to get anything with a brush. I really just use a brush today to kind of blend it out a little bit more on top of the eyeshadow. I find that if you just use your finger and stick it on there, it kind of all is in one area and looks kind of weird. So I like to use a brush to kind of diffuse the edges a little bit so it looks like a little bit more of a natural glow that blends into that solid color a little bit better. You could certainly use them in a different kind of look as like a highlighter, and I do think that, you know, that would be fine too. They're certainly striking, so it would be a pretty strong highlight. Gel liners applied beautifully, very smooth. I can't comment yet on longevity, but at least the formula itself is really comfortable to apply. I didn't really have a whole lot of issues with my eyes watering, so that was really nice. Some eyeliners have kind of a dense tip and it's very ticklish going on. It makes my eyes water. I didn't have too much of an issue with that today. And then, you know, the lip glosses will certainly get a lot of use from me. So very pleased with the collection. I'm super stoked to have it. I am a huge RawBeautyKristi fan. I have bought her Pure Cosmetics palette. I think that if anybody was worthy of getting this collab, it would be her. So I'm super stoked for all of my new products, and I can't wait to come up with another look. Thank you guys so much for joining me again today, coming out of a brief retirement, I guess, to celebrate something cool in what has been a really hellish year. So hopefully moving forward, I'll be able to come up with more content, maybe use the palette a little bit more. I also have a couple other items that are just sitting in my makeup collection that I haven't tried yet because I've been waiting to film. So we will see how much more I can kick out. But thank you guys so much for hanging out, and comment below if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, anything that you would like to see. And I'll check you guys out in the next video. Bye!